Hello, everyone. I'm Barbara Hamley. With all of the turmoil in today's world, isn't it refreshing when you get to hear stories of hope and inspiration? That's what's on tap for today's Another View. Our guest is an entrepreneur, author, philanthropist, wife, mother, and teacher who turned a personal tragedy into a triumphant opportunity to make sure the children get the education they deserve. Meet Candy Hayes, author of The Road and the River. It's next on Another View. So stay tuned.
Discussing today's topics from an African American perspective, this is Another View.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Another View. I'm Barbara Hamley. Let me start by apologizing for my nasally sound. Me and the allergies are battling it out, and I think I'm losing. But at any rate, I am so happy to be here with you today. Before we get to our inspirational stories that we're going to hear today from author Candy Hayes, and we're really excited about having her here, let me remind you of two Race Let's Talk About It events. Now, they're happening back to back. And the first one is next Saturday, October 28th from 2 until 5 p.m. at Fort Monroe Theater. It's the documentary The Price of a Ticket, which is the story of the life of James Baldwin, and then a talkback with the filmmaker Karen Thornton. It is free and open to the public, and you go to whro.org/talkaboutrace. Then the following Saturday, which is Saturday, November the 4th, we're doing a talkback, a Race Let's Talk About It conversation called Waging Peace Beyond Extremism to Our Muslim American Neighbors. And we're going to have a panel discussion and conversation, obviously, from our audience. That's from 2:30 until 4 p.m. at Boyd Dining Hall at Virginia Wesleyan University. So please join us for one, both, or we'd love to have you for both, but if you can't make both, at least one of these opportunities to talk about what is going on in our country today through the eyes of James Baldwin, and then also finding out more about the Muslim religion. To register for either one, dial or go to whro.org/talkaboutrace, whro.org/talkaboutrace. So sometimes in life, you meet people who you know simply by their spirit that they are called for something great. My guest today is one such person. Yes, she's a real estate professional, a certified etiquette consultant, an entrepreneur. She owns Candy's Cards. She's a wife and a mom. But her gift is as a founder and executive director of Daniel's Blessing, a nonprofit organization that helps children all over the world to meet their education, etiquette, and social needs. And now she's written a book called The Road and the River, a collection of poems that share her experiences helping the children of Haiti. Please welcome to Another View, Ms. Candy Hayes. Hi, Candy.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
You are very, very welcome. So I want to start with reading a poem that you've written, and then we will talk about it on the other side. And this one is called Letter from Daniel, and it really does explain what Daniel's Blessing is all about. Dear Ma, many don't know how Daniel's Blessing came to be. Many know little about how you carried and nurtured me. I just want them to see the reason I was here only 3 whole days, so that God could get the glory and praise. All in his holy name, first to bless the children of Haiti. For your birthday 3 years ago, all you wanted was dolls to take to make sure they had a Christmas that was great. So off to Haiti you go, a total of 6 trips and more to go. The 2015 Black Doll Affair, Tea Party hats, and all the flair. Thank you, Mom, for showing you care, blessing school children as if I was there. Tell Dad and Amber I miss them too. I chuckle every time I hear you call her Pooh. So Mom, keep going, never give in. I am with you each step of the way. I love how you have taken Gianni and her family under your wing. I know Gianni is destined for great things. That's all for now, Ma. I see you crying tears of joy. Blessing and love from your baby boy. Daniel's Blessing. That's me. Talk to me about Daniel.
He was only here 3 days, but he was the sweetest baby, chubby face. My nickname for him was Pumpkin Face. I mean, he was a sweetheart. Like I said, only 3 days, but 3 days was like 3 years or 30 years. And he would have been 21 years old this year.
Wow. My
Yeah.
goodness. So you went through this tragedy. Was he sick? Can you tell us what happened?
No, the thing is, I was 40 years old when I had him. So you go through all those tests and everything. And the doctor advised me, to have an abortion. And
Mm.
I'm like, no, it took us that long because people don't know the other story. After Amber, we tried to have more kids and cut. She said, you never have kids. And then when I got pregnant, we're
Ah.
like, wow. And so when they said have an abortion, I said, no, it's a reason for this.
Hmm.
So I went through everything, had him, and
And
only
just three
three
days later,
days. Yeah.
later he passed. So when did it come upon your heart to start Daniel's
It
blessing?
came upon my heart really on the plane back from Haiti after the earthquake. I went to Haiti as a mission trip, and when I was on the plane, I said, it has to be something more I can do.
Mhm.
And it's a poem in here from about a little boy that made me say I have to do something. His name
Okay.
was Ezekiel, and I'll read it right
Okay.
quick.
Sure.
Ezekiel, I heard your cry as you struggled through the words trying to figure out why. Each missionary you meet, every word you translate, still you could not understand your fate. I presented you with a journal to record your thoughts in English words. Somehow I could feel your pain. So many promises had been made in vain. My heart ached when you said to me, they all said would be back. I wanted to scream, yes, we will, you will see. But somehow I lost track. I had hoped to see you each day that I traveled back. I pray the Lord granted you your wish to visit the States and do his will. Each time I return, I look for you still. Ezekiel, I hear your cry. He said to me the day before I left that, I said, we'll be back to help you. He said, that's what they all say. They all
Wow.
say we'll be back and they never come back. So on the plane, I said, I have to do something. And so when I got home, I said, I'm going to just start a foundation. I talked to Amber and Everett, my husband and
Amber is your
daughter.
only. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
And we were trying to think of a name. So I think Everett said Daniel and Amber said Blessing because I always say blessed or something. So Daniel's Blessed. That's how it came to be.
Wow. So the kids, the missionaries that would go to Haiti, they would do some work there, and then they never come back to that same village. You've been
Uh,
there 6 times,
six
is that right
times.
so
Six
far?
times.
And each time, do you go back to the same place or?
Well, the first time I went with a group out of New York, and we went not too far from Port-au-Prince. And then that group stopped going. So I found another group out of North Carolina. So that's why I've been traveling with the last 5 trips. And we go to the same village up in the mountains
Mhm.
because that's where the founder of the Hope for Haiti Foundation, he's from Haiti.
Oh, okay.
So he
Okay.
goes with us. Sometimes he goes with us. Sometimes his brother goes with us, who's a school teacher.
So why Haiti? What happened that made you say I just have to go over there for a mission trip?
To be honest, I didn't say it. God said it. That's to be honest. I mean, I never even thought about Haiti, knew nothing about Haiti. And when I told Everett that I need to go to Haiti, like, what? Why? I'm like, and it was after the earthquake. So it kind of all made sense to me.
Yeah.
And, I thought it was going to be one trip. And I didn't think I was going to keep going back. And it's funny, each time I go, I tell them, I'm not coming back next year. They're like,
And
yeah,
then you're
right.
right. And then
Yeah,
here you
yeah,
come.
right.
So tell us what it was like the first trip when you went
Oh my
there. What
gosh.
because the earthquake had happened, everything was in shambles, I would
Yeah.
imagine. So can you talk to us about the village you went to and what you saw?
Oh, it was just heartbreaking. When I hear the stories of Puerto Rico, I think about Haiti
Mm,
because it sounds so similar. There was no roads. I saw people bathing in the middle of the street.
wow.
Um, There were buildings about to fall down. Like if you would just blow them, they would fall because it was that bad. And, people trying to still live in these buildings. They had tents all along the ocean. All along the water was tents. The kids running around because no school, no nothing. They're trying to find food. Everything was just ruined. It's funny, on the bus, I think my mouth was open the whole time.
Because you just
And,
couldn't
and
believe what you
tears
were
were
seeing.
flowing because I couldn't believe people were living like that. It's.
And so, what did you do on that first trip? How were you able to help?
Oh, I was part of the education group.
Okay.
I don't know how I got in that part, but I didn't want to do construction. I wasn't a nurse. So I said, okay, I help with education. I can read. And so that's what we did. We set up, the group I went with, they had a school because the guy was from Haiti and they had a school, but it was damaged. So we kind of made do around the school. We put tarps down on the ground and had classes, and we just taught the kids a little bit of English. They taught us a lot. Like the last day we had a party for them. We just tried to make it as normal as possible because a lot of those kids had lost mother or father, some family member. And you would look at them and they were like lost. And so, we tried to lift their spirits.
440-2665 or 1-800-940-2240 are the numbers to call to join our conversation. We're talking about Daniel's blessing and also about Candy Hayes and her work in Haiti, working with children in education. So, do any of the kids stand out to you? Can you tell us the story?
Yes, it's one little girl named Daniela, and she was in the same route with Ezekiel. And I always think about her. I have these pictures on my computer screen, and she flashes across. I'm like, I wish I could find this little girl. Wow. She would just hang around me, that kind of kid. So, I wish I could see them all, but
So that from that first group that you met, then when you went back the second through fifth years or 6 years, you went to a different village.
Right.
Is that correct? So this time you're able to kind of follow some of the kids through.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about some of them?
Yeah, because the group I go with, like I said, the founder was from there, so they have a school, medical facilities. We stay in a little house, no running water or anything, and so we're all right there together. So I'm able to see the same kids each year, unless they don't go to school, because I don't know if I said this before, they have to pay to go to school.
They have to pay.
Yes.
How much? Tell us what that situation is like.
If you want to sponsor kids, it's like $30 a month, but I don't know how much they pay in their money, but they do have public school, but it's so bad. Nobody wants to go. And so the people in Haiti, the kids that go to school, either they get paid tuition from Daniel's Blessing or Hope for Haiti, or the parents work so they can pay the tuition and buy uniforms.
So they all wear uniforms.
They all wear uniforms.
Okay. And there was one young lady you told me that she spoke in 3 languages?
3 languages. Janine, she's it's a poem in here about her. She gave me her paper one day and asked me would I correct it for her. And I looked at the paper, and the paper was in English, French, and Spanish.
Wow.
And I only could understand the English, and it was perfect.
And we tend to write these kids off, don't we?
Right. People think of Haiti as they don't want anything, they don't want to do anything, and they do. Children talk to me each time I go, and they're like, I want to go to the United States. They want to come here and go to school and go back and help their country. They really do. But it's so hard for them to get here. It's so much paperwork and the corruption part of Haiti. So they can't get
So
here.
between the government and everything else, there's just issues. There's a poem that you wrote called Accommodations.
Oh.
And I thought, it just made me chuckle because you were talking about how the things are primitive at best, right? So accommodations, God has a way to make you see that you're not above anything, he says, including me. So you think you drive a fancy ride in a broken down van, you try to hide. Too good to sleep on a mat, God says, I will see to that. So special that you won't eat just any kind of food, God says, eat it or starve, you fool. You take luxury baths every day. Guess what? You're in for a fight. When you get to Haiti, let's see how well you sleep tonight. God has put you through some things only because He knew the power in you. We are here to serve, so get ready. God is going to hit every nerve and we'll see you through. What did you have to do to get ready, Candy, to go
Oh
to
my
Haiti?
gosh. Besides getting shots from the hospital and everything, I think I had to prepare my mind that I wouldn't be able to just go get a glass of water, go take a bath. I'm a bath person. Go take a bath, eat whatever I want. I had to just prepare myself that it wasn't going to be like that. But I didn't know how bad it would be. I mean, they did supply bottled water. Um, you can take a shower. They told me you can go down to the river, which is part of the river in the book. But I didn't. I have to just take wipes and it's just
It's a whole
it's a
different,
whole different
life.
thing. I mean, even we have a restroom in the house, but there's no running water, so you have to put water in the toilet, and stuff like that. It's
So we
no
take a
fun.
lot for granted
We take
living
a
here
lot for
in the
granted.
United States, don't we?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I don't eat eggs. They cook eggs every day for breakfast. So what I have to do is eat a bread they make, some jelly, and that's it. That's usually all I have for breakfast.
So one time you went to Haiti and you were concerned because the kids didn't have toys for
Yes.
Christmas,
Yes.
right? And so tell us about what that effort took and what happened when you got
Oh,
to Haiti
gosh.
with the toys.
Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit. We were going the week of Thanksgiving. So I asked the teacher, okay, so what's gonna happen next month at Christmas? They said nothing. I'm like, what do you mean nothing? They're like, Christmas is like another day. These people don't have money for gifts, toys, anything. I said, okay, next time I come back, we're gonna change that. So that when I got home, I talked to different people for my birthday that year. I didn't want any presents. I just want toys. And I took back 2 big military bags of toys. And when we went into the room to give out the toys, the first girl I tried to give a doll to, she backed up and she was about to cry. And I was like, oh
Wow.
my goodness, what's going on? And they told me, Candy, you don't understand. I forgot about voodoo.
Oh my goodness.
So she thought it was a voodoo doll.
Wow. So
And
how
they,
did
they explained to her, and she took the doll. And they all were so happy. That night, I ran out of toys. That night, 2 teenagers came to our room and asked, could we have a toy? And I didn't have anything. So the guy who travels with us, his story was he didn't get a car until he was 9 years old. And he only got a car because his mom worked for a dentist. And the dentist gave her a car to give him. That was his first toy
First
at
card.
9 years old.
Wow.
So every year I've been trying to collect. First it was dolls, and then we went to, because people were saying, what about the boys? So we went to toys. And you have to remember, everything that I take has to be part of my luggage. I can't ship anything.
Really?
I can't ship a
Why?
thing.
Because
There's
it
nowhere to
won't- it
ship
won't-
nowhere to ship it to, or I will never see it.
Oh, okay. So there are a lot of things that you have to work around in the
Right.
country itself
Right.
in order to make sure that your work gets done.
Right.
How long do you stay when you go each time?
Last year I stayed 2 months. I was there for the hurricane last year.
Wow,
2 weeks. Sorry, it's 2 months.
2 weeks.
2
so
weeks.
You stay
So
for 2
usually I
weeks.
stay a week, and last year was my first 2-week trip.
So you were there for the hurricane.
Yes.
Have they rebuilt in the 6 years you've been going, or were you pretty much in a building that still wasn't very stable?
Right. Around Port-au-Prince, it's pretty built up because that's where everybody go. All the dignitaries and everything go.
Port-au-Prince is the capital.
capital, and we go up in the mountains, and I think it's a forgotten land. So we have a concrete house with a tin roof. When the hurricane hit, I thought that roof was going to pull off because it's only nailed on, and it's straight nail. It's not bent or anything. So I just knew it was going to blow off.
But it didn't.
They did.
It didn't. I remember seeing on Facebook people saying, "Candy, are you okay?" So they were really concerned
Yeah.
about you. So you named the book "The Road and the River."
Hmm.
Why? What does that mean?
The road, we have to cross a river to get to the up in the mountains. And one time we were driving across this river, and I saw what I thought was a road
In the river
in the
itself.
river. And I said, because it was so clear, and I said, "Hey, look at that road in the river." Like, "Oh, Candy, what are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, it looks like a road." And so when I thought about the book, I'm like, okay, road in the river.
Wow. So you have to actually drive through the river
Yes.
in
And
order to get
yeah.
to where you're going.
yes. And we almost didn't make it home last year because of that. And the kids have to cross that river to get to school. Yes.
So how deep is it? It can't be terribly deep.
Well,
It
it's
just depends on
deep,
where.
and with the water rising, yeah. So the last trip I made, I didn't get to see too many other kids because of that river. They
Because
couldn't cross.
they couldn't cross the river, and so
Right.
therefore they couldn't come to school.
Right.
So how far did they have to walk? Give us a sense of
They
where.
walk for miles, they told me. They walk for miles. They take off their shoes and they walk barefoot,
In order to get
get
an
to school.
education.
So they leave early in the morning to walk to school. They leave in the afternoon because we can't afford to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they walk back home. And if they don't finish their homework, they have to do homework by candlelight. Nobody has electricity.
Wow.
We
My
have
goodness.
solar panels on the roof of the house we stay in. When I first went, I had a little portable solar panel kit that I would use for my phone and iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't last that long. And so last year, I think they put solar panels on the roof, so we do have electricity at night. So,
But the
yes.
kids don't.
The kids,
Where
no.
they live.
It's
So-
pitch black.
Candy, tell us some of their stories. I mean, give us a real sense of pick a child and kind of where they're from and what they're going through in terms of and their perseverance in terms of getting an education.
Well, I'm going to go back to Ezekiel. I spent a lot of time with him because he liked to write and everything. His parents passed in the
In the
in
earthquake,
earthquake, so he didn't have anybody
he was by himself.
by himself. Well, he had family members,
Okay.
yeah, so, but not parents. And he was a really, really smart little guy, but he just didn't, he felt like he didn't have a future.
Wow.
You know, and the kids are they are really, really smart, but they just feel like I can't, I can't leave from here. I don't have any money to go. Who's gonna take me away from me? Who's gonna help me? They feel like they don't have any help.
Have you had to fight off adopting or
Yes.
bringing some
Ever
of the
thought
kids
he was
back
gonna
with you?
bring? I was gonna bring kids when he picked me up from the airport. He thought I was gonna have some kids with me. It is not that easy.
If it were, you would.
Yeah, I would have. But the kids, they are, they're really sweet. They're really appreciative. I just wish I could take some kids from here there.
Just so they can
Just-
understand.
Right.
So I know that you address this in the book. You've had people say, "But what about the kids here in the United States? What's why aren't you helping kids here in the United States? What are you doing for kids here in the United States?"
I mentor. What else do I do? I help in any way I can. I help at my church school, volunteer, computer and teach art teacher. I'm starting a new program for girls at our church, which is open to anybody really, called Powerful Pearls. They're going to learn about communicating, self-esteem, money, health and fitness. We're going to have a career day, arts and crafts. And I jokingly say things my mom never taught me. Things like that.
Yeah.
So, it's different ways that I'm involved with the kids here. Not a lot of people know, but we do things with kids here a lot.
So if you could change, I know you met with the
Ambassador.
yeah, the ambassador to Haiti. That's what I was going to say. The prime minister. That's not right. The ambassador. What was that conversation that
Oh
you
my
had with him, and
gosh,
what
that
happened?
was amazing. I talked to him for a little while, and basically he told me, Candy, take what you know back to them. He said, it's good you're taking them toys, you're doing all this, but take the knowledge you know back to them. You know real estate. Go back and teach a child about real estate. Teach them things you know so they can learn and make money and do things in the country. That's basically what he said. The whole.
So what is the economy in the mountains? I mean, what do most people do?
They grow food, but when the hurricane came, it
That destroyed
destroyed everything. So they grow food. Basically that's it. They have
So if
no
they
way.
don't leave to go to Port-au-Prince or some other city, they pretty much live
Right.
a really bad, poor existence.
Right.
440-2665 or 1-800-940-2240 are the numbers to call to join our conversation. If you're just joining us, we're talking with author Candy Hayes. Her book is called The Road and the River, and it's a collection of poems about her experiences working with the children of Haiti. 440-2665 or 1-800-940-2240. Have you ever thought about going on a mission trip? Have you ever thought about going to another country to help young people? Have you done it? Give us a call and share your story. 440-2665 or 1-800-940-2240. So you teach etiquette, and I'm wondering, in this time of political and social upheaval that we're going through and things that are happening and so forth, is that a lost art? And if it is, can we as individuals still continue to make a difference?
It is a lost art, and I think we can make a difference. Even the littlest thing you could do could make a difference. I mean, I posted something today on my Facebook. Even a smile makes a difference. Something that simple makes a difference.
How are you so positive, Candy?
I don't know. But can I read this one poem?
Sure.
Just to show how the kids are in Haiti. It's
Okay.
called Happy Birthday. One day while walking through the school grounds, I noticed some children gathered around. They were celebrating a friend's birthday with no resources, with much less money for a cake. These wonderful children used their imagination to make the day great. As I looked at the ground, what I saw brought me to tears. There was a circle of crackers, and in the center, candy was placed. This was their version of a birthday cake. As they sung Happy Birthday in English, I held my tears back. I could not speak. Not many children would have done this. This country, these children have taught me a lot. I am glad I didn't miss this happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I couldn't believe how those kids used their imagination to try to make that little girl special on her birthday when they had nothing.
So what are the lessons that you learned from them that we need to know, especially in what we're going through now with everything that's happening here, between the racial strife, between the political discourse, and all of that? What lessons are you learning from the resilience of the people of Haiti, particularly the children?
That is not about me. It's not. It's about somebody else. It's about helping somebody else. It's about putting a smile on somebody's face. Being nice.
And the fact that the kids do that for themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we have a question from Facebook. It says, has it gotten any easier working with the kids? Are people receptive, or are they suspicious of you?
I
when
think
you
it's
come over?
easier. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of have to scale down on taking the dials now because when they see me, they know they're getting something.
They know it's coming.
They know I'm getting something. I don't know what, but I'm getting something.
Well, when you first went, as you said, the little boy said, Ezekiel, that they always say they're coming back and they never do. Was that kind of the reception you got across the board?
Yes. Because they see so many different people. Funny, the last trip I made, I asked the founder, Elad is his name. I said, so how many, people, because every time I go, it's different people besides this other girl named Julie. She and I are always the only ones. And you don't see
They're
the same people every year. So I said, he was like, Candy, I forgot we have to give you an award. I'm like, why? He said, because you're the only person of color that has been with the group more than once.
Really? Why do you think
Yes.
that is,
I
Candy?
don't know. And I asked him that. I said, so why is that? He said, well, people have jobs, they don't have the money, and they just probably don't even think about it.
Hmm. Do we do more harm than good when we are not consistent like that,
I think
or is it just every little bit building on each other?
I think a little bit of both.
Hmm.
I think, like I said, if you do a little bit, it helps. But I feel good when since the kids see me now,
Hmm.
they know that, oh, she's back. When I told them this year, I was supposed to be there 2 weeks ago. And I said, no, I'm working on this girls program. Let me just do this. And Julie wrote me back and she's like, Candy, they're going to be upset. Because they know how funny I
Yeah.
am about eating. They already had planned what meals they were going to have for me. So I said, I'm sorry. I'll be there in March, Lord willing.
So you're going back in March, and that'll
I
be
hope so.
your seventh trip.
Yes.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you do in order to bring attention to Daniel's blessing is to have this tea.
Yes.
Talk to us about the tea, ma'am.
Oh, the tea. That's our main
And in full
fundraiser.
disclosure, I had the pleasure of serving as a keynote speaker a couple years ago. It was wonderful. But tell us about the tea and who comes and what how do you work that?
The tea is held every year, once a year. It's going to be May 12th, 2018 at
Okay.
Town Point Club. It's going to be a great event. We try to have speakers. You have great food, great entertainment, and it's just a great time. And no, it's not just for women. People ask me that every year. I'm like, Everett has to be there, so men are allowed. I mean, it's just a great organization. It's a way to bring more awareness to Daniel's Blessing. And for the last 2 years, I have been asking other nonprofits to come in and speak because I want people to know more, I guess. Like I said, it's not about me, not about Daniel's Blessing. It's so many other people out there helping that I just want to bring more awareness for them.
So, what do you think is the biggest obstacle to people getting involved, whatever they decide to do? Because there are all these nonprofits out there, and everybody seems to be kind of doing a little bit here or there, but there's still a lot of people who just aren't engaged.
I think people think to get involved, they have to give you money,
Hmm.
and that's not true. I go to the food bank almost every week. I give sweat. So you don't have to give money. I mean, there's just people need so much other than money. I mean, you can volunteer at Reach and read to kids.
Hmm.
It's just little things. And what I found out, Barbara, is that not many people know or know how to get in touch with people so they can do these things.
So they just need to reach out
Right.
and ask. Let's talk to Shelley in Hampton. Hi, Shelley. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Hi, Candy. I don't know if you remember me. I'm with Graceful Gems. I
Yes.
know a few years back you invited me to participate in one of your etiquette dinner lunches or whatever,
Yes.
and I was honored to do that.
Oh, thank you so much,
Thank
Shelley.
you,
We
Shelley.
appreciate that. See, you're touching people all over. Thanks so much for the call, Shelley. We appreciate that call. So, if you were to do this all over again, would you pick Haiti still? Do you think? In other words,
If it
was it your choice? I hear something about 3 days and tossing and turning. What was
Yes,
that all
yes.
about?
Well, yeah. I was waking up in the middle of the night, 102 every morning, tossing and turning. Why am I waking up? And my girlfriend said, hey, the Lord's trying to tell you something. Next time you wake up, just get up, go in your office and write it down. And I wrote it down and said Haiti. I'm like, Haiti? And when I told Everett, like I said before, he was like, what do you know about Haiti? I don't know anything about Haiti, but I'm going.
Mm, mm,
So that's when I had to search the internet and find a group that was going to Haiti after the earthquake.
mhm.
Yeah.
So when you went to see the ambassador, was that what was your ultimate goal with that? Just to tell him what you were doing, or to
I
find out
wanted to get
more?
more feedback from him,
Okay.
He kind of knew what I was doing, I guess Facebook page, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But I really I just wanted to meet with him, let him know what I was doing, see what he had to tell me, which was good what he said. Tell him what you know. And I guess that was it. Yeah.
So would you imagine you starting a school there, or I mean, what are your plans for growing this and keeping it going?
Well, if I don't learn a language, I can't do
What
too
did
much.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
So there's not a lot of English being spoken.
Well, no.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, some of the kids know English, but they don't know it. And then we have a couple of teachers. We usually have to have somebody with us that speaks English,
Okay.
And so if I don't learn a language and that's why I partner with a group that knows something because I don't know the ins and out of that country. Yeah, it would be really hard. So I think in order for me to expand there, I would have to partner with somebody.
So when you sit down and work with the kids, though, I mean, you're teaching them English. You're
Yeah.
teaching them about other skills. What do they need so that they can be successful to move forward?
Oh, they need everything. They need everything. I mean, we take supplies, school supplies and everything. They're always running out of dry markers, and I think that's because it's so hot.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so they're always running out of dry markers. And just to kind of go off that a little bit, last year when I was there, I was standing in the middle of the school ground and kids were going to the restroom. And I noticed they were going to the restroom and it's like an outhouse. And then they were going over to this bucket with water and these little cups. And they were getting water. And I'm like, these kids didn't wash their hands. So when I came back, I said, that's it. I'm going to start collecting hand sanitizers with a little carrier to put on their backpack. So that's what I'm doing right now, collecting hand sanitizer. I mean, because clean hands,
Yeah, yeah. To keep
So
away.
yeah, so they need everything, and we can't take everything, and they try to buy some things there because they know how to do it. So you know, one year we did Daniel's Blessing did buy 4 basketball hoops.
Ah,
And so
okay.
we were able to get the basketball hoops and through whoever we ordered them from, and then somebody picked them up from Miami and took them on to Haiti. So it's just hard to get things around.
We have another person who called. Clyde called from Newport News. He didn't want to go on the air, but he wanted to know if you feel that donations from America, like from the Red Cross and others, are reaching the people of Haiti.
Maybe down in Port-au-Prince, not up in the mountains.
Okay, so the mountains are really where
They're really
people have to.
struggling.
They're
Yeah.
really, really struggling there. So if somebody wants to donate to Daniel's Blessing, so that you can take more hand sanitizers, for example, what do they need to do?
They can contact me. They can go to the website, www.danielsblessing.org, or email me, candy_hayes@danielblessing.org, or give me a call at 757-404-6235. And a matter of fact, next week I will be at, what is it called, the Nora Theater in Norfolk.
Oh, the Narrow.
Naro.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
there you
Narrow.
go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for the 1804 movie, and it's about Haiti.
Ah.
So I'll be there collecting hand sanitizers also. But give me a call. I'll meet you. Anything, go to go to the website, and just let me know.
So I want to read some more of your poems because I just love how you put this. There's one called Picture This. Do you remember that one? I will let you read that. You have
Okay, let me find it.
It's page 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 33. Okay. Picture this: 8 or 9 years old, never a toy of your own to hold, until a special day at school, a woman handed you something shiny and blue. Your face lit up like a shining light. Suddenly the world seemed so bright. How could this stranger be so nice? She must somehow know our plight. No other missionary has brought a gift like this. School, I will never want to miss. So glad someone can see that a little glimmer of hope is all we need. Strangers we don't take too much. But boy, oh boy, has she gained my trust. Picture this beautiful scene. All the children's smiles are all I need.
Wow. What's the mortality rate for children in Haiti? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't. But I don't know. Mm.
But the kids that you're working with, are they mainly? Do they have brothers and
They
sisters? Are
do.
they all
They have brothers and sisters. They live with family members. None of them are orphans.
okay?
Matter of fact, the first trip I did make to Haiti, the place we stayed at was near Port-au-Prince, and I didn't realize it. But part of the, I want to say, hotel we stayed was orphanage.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get to
Wow.
go to the orphanage till like the last day,
Hmm.
and it was sad.
So we have to just take care of the children
Right,
all the way across.
all the way around.
There's a poem that you wrote called Haiti 3. I'll read this one. My third trip to Haiti, God whispered to me, for your birthday this year, ask for dolls to bless thee. The dolls poured in, all colors and size. I was so happy, and people wondered why. You see, the children in Haiti, a toy some will never see. Day we gave out the day we gave the dolls out, it was a big surprise. I tried to hand a young girl a doll, and she wondered why. I forgot about Haiti, the land of voodoo. My, oh my. After the teacher explained, I will never forget the smiles that came. The line for dolls was so long it would blow your mind. The smiles on their faces oh so wide. I felt like I had stepped back in time. I plan to go again and again until my mission to Haiti and the dolls comes to an end. No time soon.
No time soon.
No time soon. What type of it, when you talk about voodoo, can you talk a little bit about what they believe and why that was such a symbol of
Well, I
frightening?
never really got into it with them,
Hmm.
because I didn't really want to know.
But the child was genuinely frightened.
Yes, she was. She was. I wish I could have had a picture. She was like,
Oh
no
wow.
way am I taking that. Are you crazy?
Oh my
And then they
goodness.
explained, in French that, no, this is a doubt. It's okay. It's okay. I could tell that they were
Yeah,
saying
you
it's okay.
said
It's
you
okay.
saying it's
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I didn't want to know the voodoo part, because I know it is.
So my crackerjack producer back there, I love it. So the mortality rate in Haiti is the highest in the Western Hemisphere. So it's a tough life that those kids live there. So
Yes.
so what else can we do? I mean, should people send clothes? Should they
No.
send? Okay, why not?
I thought about that too. I'm like, oh, they need clothes, this and that. And it's funny when you're riding through the city, you see people with different T-shirts, and I'm like, I wonder, do they know what that really says? Because it was sent over, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
But the thing is, they're trying to make money. So I saw a lot of things that probably we sent over at their markets. They're selling it. And,
Oh.
another reason I know this, last year when I went, I had some T-shirts and some other stuff, and I gave it to the lady that cooks for us. And the girl that was with me, she said, Candy, you know what's going to happen with that stuff? I said, what? She said, she's going to sell it. I'm like, well,
Because
hey,
they have to make money
yeah.
in some kind of way. So can they then take instead of us sending clothes, would it help if people like sent cloth materials and they make their own so that they could sell? I mean, in other words,
Yeah.
that kind of economy, can that
They
can
can.
that help?
That can help a lot. Matter of
Okay.
fact, the school I go to, they had a vocation part of the school, and they had sewing machines. So that would help a lot.
So materials
Material.
as
So
opposed to
to
sending
send
the
it
fund.
a dress or something. Yeah.
But you mentioned before about sending things and how it may or may not
Get there.
arrive.
So if I
So
take,
is it better for a group to take things?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because I take those big military bags. Last year I had 3 or 4 of them. And then I get to the airport and they tell me, and Everett upgraded my ticket so I could go first class so I could have, all
Oh,
this
you said.
luggage. And I get there and the guy says, no, you're in a smaller plane. So we're trying to condense things, so I won't have so much luggage. And you still get charged $150 for extra luggage. So people think, you're taking stuff. It doesn't cost you. It does. It
Wow.
costs.
So, and how do the adults react to you then when they see you working with their children and they see you giving their kids toys and school supplies and that kind of thing? What do they say to you?
Well, really, we don't see the adults. We don't see their parents. At least I haven't. I
Really?
only work with the teacher. I never seen the parents.
Hmm. Well, I guess with that long walk,
Yeah.
also they're
Yeah.
probably far away. So tell us again how people can get in touch with you if they would like to help the kids in Haiti or the work that you're doing here with Pearls.
Okay. You can call me, Candy Hayes, 757-404-6235, or our website, www.danielsblessing.org, or send me an email at candy_hayes@danielsblessing.org.
And where do we find the road and the river?
You can find the Road in the River on Amazon.
On Amazon. And
On
it really is
Amazon.
an uplifting book all about Candy's travels to Haiti. Candy, I tell you, time has flown by, hasn't it?
Yes.
And we thank you so much, but we thank you
Thank
more
you.
for the work that you're doing. And
Thank you.
it is so uplifting and inspirational here to hear of people who are actually trying to help and to make a difference. And like you said, it doesn't take a lot of money. It just takes your heart and your time
That's
to
right.
do that. And we will be right back.
I'm with Marcellus, and you all are checking out Another View. Don't go anywhere. Check us out.
And welcome back. They left the safety of their homes and families and journeyed into harm's way in an effort to help desegregate the Deep South. I'm talking about the Freedom Riders, and their story will be played out starting next week at Norfolk's Wells Theater. But as our Lisa Godley tells us, this version is not only impactful, but brings their story to life with a fascinating twist.
Ain't gonna let nobody, Lordy, turn me right.
I learned a lot when I went to the South, but in all honesty, I probably unlearned twice as much. Because by the time I would leave Mississippi, I knew what my calling was to be. I was an activist. I was a leader.
The words of Stokely Carmichael are brought to life in the Parchment Hour by NSU's Christopher Lindsay. Lindsay, who is about the age that Carmichael was when he was a freedom rider, speaks passionately about the importance of a movement, both in the 1960s and today.
Since the beginning of time, people have been fighting for freedom and equality amongst each other. But a big thing is to not get comfortable or complacent when small battles are won. After we accomplish one thing, what's the next thing? And what's the next thing? And keep it moving.
The play's creator, Mike Wiley, uncovered the story of the Parchment Hour while researching the Freedom Riders. Wiley found that many of those brave young men and women who boarded buses heading into the Deep South to battle discrimination spent weeks or even months in Mississippi's notorious Parchment Farm Penitentiary.
Originally, the idea was, okay, we're going to take this freedom ride down to New Orleans. But then when they started being arrested in Jackson, Mississippi, the idea became, okay, jail, no bail. We're going to fill up these jails. We're going to put such a burden on the Mississippi penal system that they will have to let us go. They will have to listen to us.
And while there, some found a unique way to pass the time.
A woman named Mimi Reel, who was a freedom rider, when I started to read her account of life in Parchment Farm Penitentiary, she started to talk about how they had kind of a variety show, and that was the linchpin. I realized that, okay, here's a way that I can tell the story of the Freedom Riders and their journey from Washington, D.C. to Jackson, Mississippi, without telling it in the way that it had been told over and over and over again. This way I can tell about Parchment and their time in Parchment while also telling about the journey using the idea of the variety show. These freedom riders acting out parts of their journey while they're in jail.
In reality, the men and women housed at Parchment were housed separately. But the Parchment Hour takes a different approach.
In this play, we do that for theatrical purposes. We put them all together, but the men were separated from the women in Parchment. And it was the women that came up with the idea of the variety show. That is, they would make up commercials or sing songs or read Bible verses, and that's how the women passed their time, which is, of course, brilliant because women are brilliant like that, whereas the men just sort of sat around and preached to one another and so on and so forth. So the women found a more active and exciting way to spend their time.
The Virginia Stage Company's producing artistic director, Tom Quaintance, is the son of a civil rights attorney who was very involved in the events that transpired in the 1960s.
This is a time where you had men and women who were literally putting their lives on the line to fight this injustice. The thing that's exciting me about this play is that this is a joyous and inspiring piece. This isn't medicine, right? This isn't something that's going to come and people are going to walk out going, "Oh man, that's just so depressing." I walked out.
It's a comic drama.
And I walked out of opening night of the world premiere of this play more thrilled than I have at any play I've ever walked out of.
Quinton says in an effort to continue the dialogue, some of the performances will be followed by community conversations that are free and open to the public.
We've got a talk on the Sunday after the opening focused on a historical perspective with experts talking about the history and how that history then intersects with what's going on today. And then the second Sunday is talking to people who lived through protest periods, both contemporary and past. It's not to say that we haven't progressed at all since 1961. We haven't progressed nearly as far as we pretend we have. And until we acknowledge that past and the ugliness of that past, the violence of that past, and embrace the fact that the way to change that is we all have to come together to fight these problems. I mean, look, these were college kids mostly, but there were a lot of folks who were just regular folks who made a difference. And I want people to come out realizing that they have more power than they think.
If you want to know how to get forward, you can always look back to the past, but you can't forget about what happened in the past and expect to move forward.
For Another View, I'm Lisa Godley.
Regular folks making a difference. That's what we've been talking about for this hour. The Parchment Hour is a collaboration between the Virginia Stage Company and Norfolk State University. The show opens Wednesday, October 25th and runs through November 2nd. November 12th, pardon me. We hope you've enjoyed this hour of inspiration and hope. If you'd like to hear it again, please visit our website, anotherviewradio.org, and download the podcast. And please plan to join us for our next 2 Race Let's Talk About It events. The screening of the film James Baldwin, The Price of a Ticket, Saturday, October 28th from 2 until 5 at the Fort Monroe Theater. And on November 4th at Virginia Wesleyan University's Boyd Dining Hall, a discussion of love and bridging the gap with those who practice the Islamic faith. Both events are free and open to all. Please register at whro.org/talkaboutrace. Next week, we kick off the Race Let's Talk About It discussion with filmmaker Karen Thornton, who shares the life of James Baldwin and the backstory behind the making of The Price of a Ticket. Our theme music was composed and performed by Jay Sinnott. Lisa Godley is our show producer. Victor Bowen is our audio engineer. Kamaria Mason answered our phones. And Cassie Knight ran our web cameras. I'm Barbara Ham Lee. Thank you so very much for joining us and listening to Another View.